pay. I'm just like, this is not what I pay for.
That part, and it's frustrating, especially when I'm sitting up here trying to figure out. I got my grown man problems. I'm here trying to figure out when I cut the grass. Can't even cut the grass,
right?
Because every other day it's like. And then I finally got out there to start doing that, and I kid you not, my lawnmower just gave out. It was like, nah, this grass too big. So there's that.
Oh my gosh.
All right, I believe we are live, ladies and gentlemen, DIYers. Hey, thank you so much for showing up today. Obviously, this is a Music and Life podcast episode, and I'm back here with a return guest, someone that especially my YouTube audience should be very familiar with. I got Sarah, the Illstrumentalist. You got to forgive me. Look, you got to forgive me. Before I want to talk, you got to forgive me. I completely butchered your name last time, and you didn't correct me, and I appreciate that.
I did. I didn't. I would have definitely do it now. I feel a little different now these days. So it's Illstrumentalist. Don't forget the H as well at the end of Sarah.
Yes, that's
Hello.
important. That's important. How you been?
I've been pretty good, man. I can't complain. Life's good. Living this artist, producer life. Enjoying it. So.
How's that multitasking going?
It's been great. I've been having a good routine and staying up on it and trying to balance everything. But I say, I have a lot of grace with myself. So if there's days where I don't get certain things, I just push it to the next day.
Yeah.
And, try not to give myself a hard time,
How do you kind of approach? How do you kind of approach the idea of balance? Because I know that for some people, everybody has different philosophies. I got a different philosophy when it comes to what balance actually looks like for us, especially with having so many different tasks. But how do you kind of know that you're in that proper balance?
I think I'm naturally balanced. So my sign is an Aries, which means I'm very fiery and very energetic. As soon as I wake up, I want to go, 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 go.
Right.
And then my emotional side, which is my moon sign, which is a Scorpio, is more like chill out, relax. You don't have to. It's not due today.
Yeah.
Why are we? What's going on?
Oh
no one's calling today. Like you can get it done tomorrow or next week. And it's like, oh yeah, you're right. Let me go plug my TV up and watch something for once.
Look, I don't know what
normal.
That part. What is normal? What is that even these days?
Yeah.
But it took me 38 years before I could even give myself that kind of grace to be like, hey, buddy, hey, I know you want to finish this thing right now, but you don't have to. Nobody
right.
is. And then I had an assistant. I want to make sure I acknowledge the chat in a second, but I had an assistant that came out. It's more of a friend of mine, but he was like, man, if Dewan had to work for Curtis King, and those were two different entities, do you think that he would have kept his job, or do you think he would have quit? And I said he would have quit. You know what I'm saying? Probably the first chance he could. So,
right.
Yeah, that's that kind of grace is not something that you can just kind of passively get to.
No, I feel you. I over time have learned that my mental health and my physical health is my priority.
Yeah.
So and I remember when I would used to wake up and go straight to making beats.
Mm-hmm.
and work, make beats all day. I'm making beats all day.
That sounds, yeah.
But wouldn't even drink some water, wouldn't even wouldn't even go outside, and so I just had to make sure I implemented certain things before I even touch my phone or before I go out and do something for someone else or another company or something external. I turn to inward. So,
yeah.
And I try to, do things that make me feel good first, and then work,
Yeah. And it seems like, just from my vantage point, that's been something that you've been. It's surprising to hear that you were at a point where outside wasn't really a part of your regimen. But it's like, I look at so much of your content and it's vibrant from the jump, from where you're shooting at. Even when I'm looking at the live streams where you're doing the performances, I believe, at Venice Beach. And I'm just like, you always seem to have that outside energy, no matter where you're at. If you're in the studio, it's like it's already a vibe of outside. And I think producers absolutely kind of fall in that category of not really getting outside. And I think sometimes your content kind of becomes an escape for a lot of folks who are kind of living vicariously through you taking those adventures. And I say all that to say, you know, how important is it for you now creatively to be able to get that sunshine, to be able to, even though I know it's been raining like crazy in LA, but how important is that?
Everything. It's everything. You need the sunlight. You need to go outside and look at the sun and nature. And because once you go outside and like witness the intelligence of nature, you're and then you realize you're a part of that. It's like everything is perfect. Like the fact that like you don't have to tell birds to wake up in the morning to go fly, then disappear at night. Like it's a part of nature. Like it's so like divine. So like when you go outside and you're like, oh snap, everything is like
they don't even
like
need
when
our
it's
help.
fall. Yeah, when it's fall, like the leaves change colors, and I didn't do anything to make that happen. It just happened, and like I have to just surrender and allow things to happen versus like me just trying to control things and also not worry and know that everything is good.
You're the second person that's kind of echoed that specifically on this podcast. I was talking to my buddy Willie B. You good? You good? So, what,
Yeah,
why they trying to attack you during the interview? Why they doing that?
I don't know. My dog. Yeah, she finished her peanut butter.
Okay, what's her name?
Lucy.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right. Lucy appearance. Let me go ahead and acknowledge the chat real quick because I know they're excited to see you. Shout out to Chris A.K., Mr. Solo Key, Eclipse, Tyra, Crush J, Almighty, Sono. I'm going to just say Almighty. Almighty S. Stepadon Diggity, Tyra, Carbon Vibes. Good to see y'all here.
Chat?
Strife. Yeah, they're excited. We've been a magnificent. And specifically, you know, shout out to Tyra. I was asking my Patreon community, I was like, what do y'all want to see more of? And she, clear as day, she said, I need to see my heavyweights collaborate more. If y'all can arrange that,
that'd be dope.
Can we make that happen? You know what I mean? So this is just one step of it, but we obviously have talked about things like, you know, the skits and making music, but you know, I completely understand how life can take control. Not to mention you got a new project coming this Friday.
Yes, got my first album that I've composed from scratch, like from my brain, like wrote out and like composed it, and it's called Sarah's Keys. It's coming out this Friday the 24th, and my birthday's the next day, so I'm very excited.
Hey,
this is all happening, so I'm excited. Yay!
That's what's up. So when you say you create it from scratch, I've heard the sampling that you do. Right. When you saying that you're doing it from scratch, you're emphasizing that for a reason. So what does from scratch mean for you this go around?
Well, for the most part, I'm a sample-based producer, so I would sample whether it be one shots or vinyl or track lib or something like that, and start from someone else's thoughts or their melodies or their chord progression or something, like, or just they would get me started.
Right.
And like this time I just like, let me go to piano lesson and learn how to actually compose a song, like understand the keys, understand what I'm looking at when I look at a keyboard, understand how, you know, the majors and minors work together with the diminished and augmented and sus and all these things that we always just use like minor sevens and minor nines, but it's like, what are the other ones? Like those are kind of sound ugly, but then teachers like, it makes dissonance, or it just brings, you know, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's what I need in my songs. It's just I'm doing the same thing. I feel like I make music for Epidemic Sound, so I'm making music consistently, and I've definitely had moments or even gotten feedback is like, your music sounds the same. I'm just like, well, it's because I'm using the same toolbox, and I need to expand my toolbox, and I'm aware of that. Like I'm a sample-based producer. How many samples can I flip at this time? Yeah. You know, and been doing flips for a long time. And even
Right.
though there's a lot of great sample packs coming out, it was just like important for me to learn the piano, but it wasn't intentional that I was going to make a full project. Cause like there is songs that I've made from scratch, but then there's like a, not the whole project.
Mm-hmm.
There could be another song that I use one shots or whatever, but this project I specifically bought like and it wasn't intentional. It just happened. I was going to my Guitar Center piano lessons, and I saw a Yamaha MO X8, and it's like a 81 keyboard from like 2010. So it's not like a new keyboard. I've never seen it before. So I'm just playing around with it, and I just noticed like when I pulled up the electric piano, it just played so good and pretty, and there's so many sounds, and like I don't have to like synthesize it with a bunch of knobs. I'm just
Right.
just hitting one button,
It's out the
and
box.
it's got all the sounds. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, Yamaha's on point. Yamaha.
Yeah.
This is, so I bought the 61 key version from Reverb, and once I got it home, and I would I would basically, I had told myself, or asked myself, like, what is it that I want to do? And I want to be a musician. Like, I want to be like, I'm the Illstrumentalist, and I really want to be able to master all the instruments that I can.
Right.
And starting with the piano. And so going to piano lessons, I had told myself, or asked myself, what does a musician do every day? What is the lifestyle of a producer? Or what does Stevie Wonder do? He probably plays the piano every day, at least for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to play the piano every day for at least 15 minutes. And then when I would practice, I'm like, now, I've been a huge fan of Prince since I can remember, but his vault mentality has influenced me. So like I will practice but record my practices, and sometimes when I'm practicing, I would, oh, this is a cute chord, or this is a nice, okay, the 2-5-1 chord progression. Okay, I'm practicing, and like, oh, what if I use
Prince will do that to you. Prince gonna do that to you every time.
Yeah, so I've been recording. I mash record, and if something comes out of it, like, oh, this is the first part of a new song, and then now I know how to build a part B and a part C versus just having an A just looping over and over and over.
Right.
And taking drums out and taking the bass out. I could like go to a bridge and to a chorus, and like I'm a huge fan of pop music and like the early 2000s, like Spice Girls, Backstreet Boys, and like when even though people are very like, they're like quote unquote kind of cheesy, like if you listen to the Spice Girls, they have like section A, section B, section C, a section D, and F, and like the song is like, it's like, I'm like, whoa, did you hear what is going on in this production? I'm just like, how did they do that? And I'm because that's my genre, my era of growing up. I listen to it a lot, and I'm just like, how did they even make this? I'm as a producer, we want to reproduce our favorite stuff, and of course, I love hip hop, and I've done that. I want to go to where I haven't touched yet. So like, I got to learn my core. So I like I said, I would record my practices, and eventually they became songs, and then it became the album. So I kind of was just like, I think I'm going to continue to I'll use like one shot drums, but like the bass, the keys, the piano, all the different sounds I got from this one keyboard. And it's kind of like I can have all this gear surrounded by me, but I like to focus in on like one thing at a time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not over stimulated, or like, I forget which instrument number I was using on this one over here, and then I got to go over here, and which one was this over here, and just like everything's in this was this project. The next project could be a whole SP404 thing, or the next project could be an MPC thing, or the next project could be me grabbing a new synth. Like I have this Access Virus TI that I have no idea how to use, but once I figure it out,
it's a wrap.
I may make like a whole dance album, and I do plan on making like different productions because I want to just Like we need a dance. Like so
Yeah.
I need to make some dance music. So what are the dance softwares and
Right.
hardware? So mastering that for like maybe an album or something like that. So
Okay. Yeah. And I love what you said about the pop music. That was something that I couldn't really like. I got friends that are just it's hip hop, it's R&B, and it's just anything that's just that. Anything else is just like, oh, you on that weird stuff. But it's like I had music that literally molded my experimentation, and pop
right.
music was very much a part of that, especially late
Yeah.
'90s pop. Like
Yeah.
when you're talking about, we were talking about a song. Like we were talking about Sugar Ray, Fly. We were talking
Mm-hmm.
about another song. I think the group is called Lynn, but it's If You
Mm-hmm.
Steal My Sunshine. That's around the
Yeah. Yeah.
same era. It's like the
Yeah.
TRL era, but that music introduces you to things that sometimes within hip hop. I mean, hip hop has evolved so much now, but like 16 bar, 16 bar, 16, 16 bar, 8 bar, maybe a bridge. At some point, those who are like creative, and I know many people in here, obviously, who are supremely creative, you want to jump out of that mode. But a lot of people kind of, I think they let their skill set be the thing that holds them back from even trying. But I literally watched you, like, you were using melodics at one point, right?
Right.
I
Yeah.
remember, I felt like I vividly remember around the same time I started to kind of pick it up. I think I might have picked it up because of either you or Larry O. But when I saw that, I'm like, there's not much in terms of history that we've seen of people who've used melodics like 20 years ago, and we're seeing the
Right.
results of it. So we're all kind of experimenting with it. But I tell you, even just utilizing, the scale feature and all these different things help me. But I'm watching you in a recent video, and you're playing a whole lot more free
Yeah.
than I saw in earlier videos. And I'm like, I'm not saying melodics was the only reason, but it obviously starts with one step, and you made many steps towards that. Could you talk a little bit about kind of how you stayed on it? Because I know there's a lot of folks in here who probably want to learn how to just play with their left
Yeah.
hand. You know what I mean?
Listen, I'm gonna be real honest. I think we need to take a step back
Okay.
and go back to real lessons. Like go find your local piano teacher and actually sign up for a month or two and go physically in and hey, this is where I'm at now. Like listen to my music or or this is what I want to learn. Because when I went into lessons, it wasn't like she was like, "What do you want?" And I'm just like, "I just want to be better at making music." She's like,
Right.
"So do you want to learn how to read today?" I'm like, "Not today, maybe next time." I need to know what the hell everyone's talking about because because like when
Mm,
you go into maybe a studio and you start working with an artist or another musician, you kind of want to know what you're talking about. When it comes
facts.
to like just the basics, like we're in the key of we're in the key of F, so you know F major, minor, whatever, minor, what like we
Yeah.
and play and be able to play it and like literally I know how to like my teacher has been able to show me how to just put my finger somewhere and I know how to play that chord
Hmm.
and that's what I wanted to know because I'm making music and I
Hmm.
know what sounds good, but I really just needed to put the puzzle pieces together. So like melodics is great as for a good starting point, just like
Hmm.
any tutorials on the internet. Skillshare is great, YouTube, all these other platforms are great, but I think it's important to like go to your local guitar center
Hmm.
and like find sign up for classes or go to go to school. Like some people we wanted the fast, quick route of like being so good really quickly. And I'm just like, I didn't get there until I started to go to someone that was better than me. And like,
Yeah.
and it's and like on the internet, you can't some of the questions that you may have are not getting answered because you're looking at a screen.
Right.
You need a human being because music is very spiritual and human. It's like a human thing. It's a
Hmm.
very like this is why I know AI is not gonna humans in music and AI, we ain't got nothing to worry about because they ain't got no soul and
Right.
the music ain't gonna hit. I'm telling you,
I keep
nobody
trying
gonna
to
want no
tell
AI.
people. I keep
You
trying to
know,
tell them.
it's very interesting with music. You really need to like connect with another human in order to potentially level up, whether that is just, listening to your grandma's collection of vinyl, or,
Right.
or talking to someone that's been that's been playing the jazz piano for 15 years. And, so yeah, that's my thoughts about just practicing, because I've gotten better because I made an effort to practice every day for at least 15 minutes.
15
But
minutes. That
at least
I would think some people might even be they might underestimate what 15 minutes a day can do, because they feel like I have to sit down and do hours and hours of practicing in order to really make a dent in this. But 15 minutes a day, supremely helpful, huh?
Yeah, first, like, one of the first things I do, like, after taking my dog out, I get some tea, and I have a metronome, and then I have like stuff like this little,
Okay.
hourglass, and then, like the app that you have, Beat Timer,
I
just
mean,
literally
look,
putting,
you gonna plug it. You gonna plug the beat.
oh, hey, this is why I came
look,
here. Hold
look,
on.
look,
Listen.
look.
Listen.
I'm gonna get you that 50 later. Really, we got an interview we got to do first. I'm gonna get you that. I'm gonna send that to you later. Okay, I appreciate the plug.
I'm gonna need the song. I came here for the song. So whenever you're ready to,
I can't. It's not on this one. It's not on this. This is the one where I'm like, man, I can't be selfish. I can't. This is not even about me. This is about
literally
my guest.
I like all day in my head. Curtis King, I wanna plug your shit.
No, shout out to one of my subscribers, Viral Beats. He was like, "Man, that's my daughter's favorite song," and I'm like, I feel so bad. You never think about like a little kid singing this, like, "Hey, you better plug your shit." And I'm like, I have a responsibility, I guess, to a certain degree. But you also talked about something off camera that I really want to hear your thoughts about here, at least from the audience, is the power of collaboration and the power of having even accountability from the person that you're collaborating with. And I think it might even tie into what you're saying about a teacher, because I'll be honest, for myself, the difficulty is not finding a teacher. It's finding a teacher that can work with my imbalance of information and knowledge. Like, I know some things really, really well that would surprise them, and some things I'm like, they think would be second nature, and I don't know anything you're talking about right now. So I've gone through dozens, not even exaggerating, dozens of teachers. And I know that I'm the problem, but that chemistry is, that chemistry is, you feel what I'm saying? Like, the chemistry is important, but also too, you got to be in a place to receive it. But going back to the thing about collaboration, what was the impact of collaboration on Sarah's keys, especially as you were tapping into more original sounds and doing the things that you kind of saw in those songs that you were looking to?
I feel like with me, I know when people think of collaboration, they probably first think of collaborating with another artist, like another producer or another singer. But I love collaborating with other people that do things better than me, like a photographer or a videographer or an animator or something that I'm having visions, but I know I can't do that.
Right.
I was able to collaborate with a few people to create content surrounding Sarah's keys. Let me pull up some names.
Okay. Shout out to Ricky Adams for the super chat. So if you see sirens going off, that means they super chatting. Just on some random. But appreciate that, Ricky Adams. So
I just met a really dope guy named Steven Mertens.
Okay.
He's a really dope animator. Like, he spent a day with me and just captured some really dope stuff. It's gonna come out on Friday, so just stay tuned. But
you always got like the cool shit. Like, even your timer ain't normal. How you get what Amazon you got? Yours look different than mine. What they be suggesting you?
What you mean?
You always got cool shit. Like, you always, like, every time I see you present something new, or you're like, I just picked this up. Like, you just showed me right now your the hourglass with the blue sand in it.
This from 2001.
My dog said
everybody got this in their house.
My dog said you got that super Amazon. you got
No, I
exclusive
just
Amazon here.
I got a lot of little reminder timers in my house to help me manage my time because I think is time is like sometimes if I don't know what I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
I'm stressed out. So I need like something to tell
Mm,
me. Like I got a list, like a to-do list, even if it's like take a shower,
yeah.
go eat lunch. Like, oh yeah, I should rather go do that. You know, it's very helpful.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm about to take you off, but you were talking
oh
about
yeah,
the collaboration and
yeah. With Steven and Evan. I can't let me make sure I get his last name right
okay.
because Evan Two Truth, Teetreault.
Okay.
He is an amazing photographer. He has like a really unique aesthetic and like all the vibes of the album cover, the YouTube videos that I just shot, like we shot like four of them together.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a very homey, like chill aesthetic. And I just wanted that like I made the album here at home, so I don't want to like go out to like another studio or another like
Mm-hmm.
white, everything's white and this
Mm-hmm.
is serious keys. Like no, I made it right here with this, and I need all y'all to come around and we can
Embrace it
shoot
as
some
is.
content,
Yeah.
and but like as far as like what I would like to do in the future, the biggest inspiration, I'm not sure if you know this group named Cortex.
Mm-mm.
They have it's like this do I have the album? It's an album that's like highly sampled by like MF Doom, Tyler the Creator, Wiz Khalifa, and like the samples are the group is from France and it's from the 1970s.
I
Um,
might. Did they have a
yeah,
trending sound on Instagram?
I
I feel
I
like I
wish
might have even used it. That name sounds
I'm
vaguely
1000%
familiar.
know this group, the sample. I'm pretty sure you do. But I was able to see this guy perform live
Mm-hmm.
like this summer, like right when I was doing piano lessons, and like it was dope because when you listen to the album, I'm thinking it's like a whole band, of full like a whole thing of
Right.
going on, but really it's just five people. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. I
Wow.
love how they just like they just performed the whole album right there. And I'm just like, jazz is so dope. Like
Yeah.
they make it seem like it's complicated, but it's just him. He's literally got his Rhodes right here.
Mm-hmm.
He's got his piano right here. So he literally plays the Rhodes for 8 songs, and the last 2 songs he just goes this way, goes to the piano. He's
Mm-hmm.
got a lady that's singing like French music, like high pitched vocals. He's got a saxophone player
Yeah.
that also is the keyboard player, and then you have the
That's
bass
tight.
and then the drum. And I'm just like, this sounds amazing, but this is just 5 people. Like I want this so bad. I want to be able to figure out how to do this. Like I would love to have a band. I love to, but I have to make sure I'm ready to have a band. You know what I'm saying? I got to be able
Yeah.
to,
That's my
you
next
know.
question. You see, so I'm getting into how your brain works when you get that inspiration because, well, I shouldn't say because when you see that, right? What does your brain immediately say besides, okay, this is impressive. I think this is amazing. But I know the creativity with you, like you're creative in everything that you do. My POV, everything that you do, whether it's you're going to shoot a vlog, whether it's you're going to do a short, everything has a lot of creativity. Of course, the music, of course, too. Your brain says, all right, Sarah, so you know what this means. We have to do what?
We just need to learn how to play the piano because I want to be able to get on stage and just because this guy, I swear to God, I don't know how old he is now, but he has to be in his 80s, and the crowd were all young people,
Let's
and
go.
it was just like we want this, like we want this, like we, and it's crazy. He's surprised. He's like, I didn't believe all these people would come to see me. He's a French guy. He came to America and he's hasn't performed this album in like years, like
Right.
30 years. And it's like a very unique experience. And I think he's just like, wow, like all these young people listening to this jazz music. And it's just
Yeah.
like we need to take a step back. Like, why are we so I know it's amazing, but it used to be normal
Mm-hmm,
to have
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
jazz bands play all the time and have a singer singing with the jazz band. We need to get back to getting in the garage and
Yeah,
bring your guitar, bring get your little lessons
I
in,
agree.
and let's come over and just jam for like 3 hours and like record it. And like I said, Prince, the boat mentality, he would perform like a couple of hours and then go to the studio for like
Mm-hmm,
6 hours
mm-hmm.
and then like go to sleep for 3 hours and then go do it again. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, I want to perform. I'm a great, recording producer, but I want to perform. And I also want to help other people perform. I want to help groups, not just myself. I want to see other people on stage and get them to live out their dream. Like I'm watching Earth, Wind, and Fire. I'm like, what? Why aren't we? What's? How can
What's
we get this?
what do you
What?
think?
What?
What do you think it is? I mean, I'm sure you got a few different theories of why are we so
Every
enamored by it, but why are there not more, I guess, of us that are jumping into that lane of experimentation?
I think now because of technology, everything's so easy,
Mm.
but I think because it's too easy and it sounds different. Um, at least me, I'm like, how were they? There was a group of people recording all at once
Mm. Yeah, 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 that too,
in
man.
one take,
So if
and
one
this
of y'all
is
messed up, we got to do this
right,
whole thing again.
right,
Okay,
and
all
we
right.
and it's not digital. You can't just like hit the, you know,
I can't
hit
just mute your
undo.
track.
You can't,
I can't mute your
yeah.
track, and we gonna do this all on one waveform. Okay, all right.
But it sounds so good. It's a
Yeah.
different, and for me, I'm just like, okay, I need to reverse engineer or go backwards, or at least with the musicianship, and then also even with the audio, like what
Mm-hmm.
technology was Barry Gordy using in Detroit, what 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 was Marvin Gaye using, because he eventually got like multi tracks, but his when he was making like What's Going On, it sounded amazing, and it's just like, okay,
It
what
sounds
happened
so
between
amazing.
then and there, like now, and of course digital, and but it's just like the sound, and I think the performance, and at least for me, I've always been passionate about like that era of music, and
Mm-hmm.
for some reason I don't want to not necessarily let it go. I just see it happening again. Like I hope that I'm not the only person that believes that we should be having like bands and like
Mm-hmm.
girl bands and boy bands, rock bands, and kind of take a step backwards. And I was talking to um my homeboy Chris that is a DJ at Apple Music, and he was telling me how we could go to our local public stations and have our own TV shows broadcast on TV. And I'm like,
Really?
oh, yeah. I'm just like, what? Tell me
Yeah.
more. He's like, yeah, because it's a public station, and locally, I think they could broadcast people that are in the community. And I'm like,
Wow. Yeah. That. I
and
mean, that
like, well,
to
what
me.
about MTV? Can I do stuff
Yeah.
like, can I bring that back? And I did finish the conversation with him, but I'm just thinking like when I grew up watching MTV, TRL 106 in Park on BET,
Hello.
and these kids don't have that either. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
what are y'all okay? Like,
Well, I mean, and then it's partly obviously the society changing, but also too these corporate entities that used to let our 3 p.m. I remember I used to get off of school 3 p.m. TRL will come on
right.
till
Yes,
4 p.m. Nothing but music
yes,
videos and just commercials.
yes,
Now you saw the change go from that to like more dating shows and reality TV, and now it's like
right.
if they show another episode of
Ridiculousness.
ridiculous. You already know where I was going with that. If they
Yes,
show me one more episode of ridiculousness, of clips that I probably already seen on the same YouTube I got access to,
right.
I'm gonna pull out the rest of the hair I got left. But that being said, so much of it is a combination of things changing. But you know what I find very interesting, and this is just me kind of like just embracing evolution, and that whenever things get too much in one direction, a surge comes from the other direction. Like when something
Yeah.
that was once underground or once, kind of like
Mm.
locally known or locally kind of protected, when that goes and that becomes the new flavor of the mainstream, something else is boiling, and like you said, somebody in a garage is creating this thing that doesn't make too much sense in 2023, but they picked up this piece of equipment, put it together with this piece of equipment, and they're doing that thing. What are you gonna say?
This group called the Sacred Souls. I'm not sure if you heard of them.
Nah, you got
I
all
think
the
they're
bands.
from
Come
your,
on, I'm about to make a
they're
list.
from your area, and they
Uh-huh.
sound like they're from the 60s or 50s.
I love that.
And then you look at it like they just released this last week. Like
Yeah.
it blows your mind. They got it. They're the ones that are bringing back like the soul. And I'm seeing there's people that are, but it's just not like in a mainstream,
Yeah.
not quite known yet. But I do see, like you said, it's like uh one thing is getting oversaturated, and eventually
Makes way.
it's like a bubble, and it's like history repeats
Yeah.
itself. We'll see. I feel like we're going backwards in time as far as like not even just music, but obviously like outside in the politics and the states and stuff, things are going backwards. And I'm just like, wow, this is weird. History is repeating itself.
Yeah.
But I feel like with music, if we can learn from our past and we could take both what we have now, we have social media, we are able to share things, but also maybe take a step back, learn how to use the piano, the guitar, not just from the internet, but like talk to like, the guy that's been playing for years that would love to teach us the secrets of like, you know, things that you can't get from melodics.
Yeah.
Because there's things that I couldn't get from melodics or from a Skillshare course that I got from my teacher. And like my teacher, she's a genius. It's crazy. It just, and the people I've met other teachers within like Guitar Center, and every time they specialize in different things. As a classical piano teacher, he's like, I'm just like
mind blown. But you know what?
How do I do that? Like,
you know what I used to have the issue with the classical ones is the bad taste in their mouth that hip hop had, and it was like,
right.
I know you can teach me the basics and a lot of things that I can obviously translate into my genre, but if you don't respect my genre, and I'm telling you, look, I want to get these Neptune chord progressions, I want to be able to come up with stuff that's in this lane, but I'm also a fan of Prince, and I'm also a fan of it. Right. That's the biggest challenge sometimes, is that you'll get someone who, at least I have, I've gotten a lot of teachers that they didn't understand the kind of music that I wanted to make, and it made it a challenge for me to stay attentive, and for them to want to give me information, because it was like, yo, is Beethoven really finna help me create these Quincy Jones progressions that I'm getting into, or is that going to really help me get closer to the kind of musicality I see in the Childish Gambino album or whatnot? So that's definitely a huge factor. But it seems like your willingness to kind of adjust the times, try different things, like the moment that we think, okay, your focus is on hardware and sampling, you pivot, you'll go here and you'll try this. I'm really curious, especially since this is obviously a supremely hot topic within the producer community. How has your relationship been with the emerging AI? Because I've seen you utilize it, but that doesn't always tell the full story. How are you kind of viewing it from a zoomed out point of view, and then how are you kind of like embracing or not embracing?
Yeah, listen, my opinion is my opinion. I believe that, if somebody, I don't think AI is going to take over, but someone that's using AI is going to take over. So if you're not fully accepting or fully open to it, you're going to miss this wave, and this wave is going to be huge, because there's a lot of people that are scared. They're scared of technology, and this is a huge, like, when I mean like it's affecting jobs, it will affect jobs, just like anything affected jobs. I'm pretty sure when the internet, just like when iTunes came out, it changed the whole industry. But we're on iTunes and Apple Music, and we didn't go back to CDs. It's just we adapted, and then now the streaming platforms are doing amazing. They're getting catalogs of music that weren't able to be streamed. back in the day, we were doing some crazy stuff to just try to get some digital
Man,
music,
that's yeah,
you know,
that's
and that was
sheesh.
sketchy, like, but now we could just stream, it adapts with time. And I think people don't understand that they've been using AI for a long time. It's artificial intelligence is everything. Like, you know, it's just a different level of artificial intelligence. I
Right.
think everything is extremely intelligent, but this is like, you can tell it, do something for me. And I
Mhm.
think because people think it's lazy because it's so fast, but it's brilliant. If you're able to get something done and more efficiently and a lot quicker,
I'm
why would you
saying,
want to like waste 2 weeks making a photo and I can do it in 2 seconds?
we're
I'm sorry. Like,
I feel like we're not recognizing the cheat code of our time. I
yes,
feel like we're
yes,
like if you were to rewind to the 60s, 70s and we told them half of the stuff we have access to and they saw how much we underutilize the tools that we have, they probably would they'd probably go crazy if they didn't think it was witchcraft. They'd probably go crazy
right,
because it's
right.
like we're living in a time where it is quicker to do the things that we've always wanted to do. It looks better than the things we've done before. We literally can tell in detail this text to image situation. We can tell it in detail, then make variations and alterations to it that look better than what we imagine. And it's like, yo, we're living in a time that you have to take full advantage of these things. And I feel like the people that are winning are the ones who are like, they're not extreme in that they're like I'll die for this AI, but there's the folks who are like, you know what,
Right.
this can make my life a little bit easier, this little piece can make my life a little easier. And with my tribe of DIYers, like we have been asking for this because it used to be an insult to tell somebody that they were a jack of all trades or that they had their hand in their own artwork or their own video editing. Like they used to be something that was kind of like it was like shade. But now it's like we can do
Right.
it.
Right. And it's beautiful. Like, I'm so excited about it. Like, just the fact I can ask Chat GTP, hey, could you help me make a script for this course on for YouTube beginners? And it'll give me, I'm like, oh, it gave me more things that I even thought about. Like, I'm just,
Yeah.
oh, that's a great idea. Or and it's also just a good starting point for other projects that you're working on. And
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing. Like, a lot of people are worried about kids, you know, making presentations within 2 seconds. Well, they need to adjust the school system. We all know the education system needs to change. Why haven't we changed it? That's the real question. We need to adapt to what's going on because first of
Yeah.
all, kids shouldn't even be tested with scantrons. They should be tested in the real world. They shouldn't.
Hello.
It's a lot of things that needs to be looked at and not, we shouldn't do this. Like, or kids shouldn't have access to this. Like, they should. Like, are you kidding? Like, I would have loved to make a PowerPoint presentation in 2 seconds about football or whatever,
Come on now.
and
You see they fighting it, right? You see the schools like there are like teacher, I want to say it's a teachers union that is trying to create a chat GPT and a chat GPT detector. And I'm like,
wow,
you would rather
you can't
somebody
do it.
you would rather somebody spend their time trying to decode whether or not the person used chat GPT than to show the kids how to use it when we know that this is inevitable, that this is going to be a part of our day-to-day lives at some point. Like what are we doing? That's like rebelling against Siri. And it's like, no, it's here.
Yeah, it is. And you know these that generation, or at least that younger generation, I have a lot of hope for them. Like, I feel like they're very much like fighters.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're going to be able to hopefully get what they deserve. As far, but I don't know if it's happening today, but I hope that with this change it does start to spark, like, what are we doing? How
Mm-hmm.
can we make it better for all of us? Because kids, I'm gonna copy something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the other site where it's called something something checker, and it's gonna rephrase it for me. And
Uh,
then I'm gonna go to Grammarly and I'm gonna rephrase it on there too. good luck trying to, there's ways. There's always a way. Just allow things to happen, and embrace what's going on. So I'm all for it. I know that people are upset that certain jobs may be affected, but I think it's important for have multiple skills and not just focus on one thing. Like if it is music production, that's gonna whatever. What are other things we can do? Because there's other ways to. There's other. I have multiple passions. So like if music's working this year, then that's what we're doing. If YouTube or podcasting is the next like huge thing, or if it's making rugs or I got multiple skills in my toolbox. Like, all right, well, I'm gonna master this next. Because like a lot of people because I'm a graphic designer, I can't get no jobs anymore. Well, you can use AI for your advantage. You can make stuff even quicker and re-edit it to make it your own.
Yeah.
And no one cares. And we'll be like, oh, I wouldn't care. Like this is
dope.
This is exactly what I asked for.
Especially with the prices. If you're gonna get it to me in a timely, because I don't care what graphic designer I have worked with. I love them all. But they have one common pattern that I see amongst all of them. They are very sensitive to the environment that they're in, and it affects their work because their work literally shines because of that sensitivity, right? Because of their awareness, because of the way that they know that color psychology can make them feel by using these shades or using these particular styles. Like this is embedded in them, but oh my gosh, when they're going through something, you may not get your artwork until they're ready for it. But you probably wouldn't be surprised, but how many graphic designers were pissed off? My homies were pissed off when I started sharing Dolly. And I'm telling them, I'm like, fam, this is going to get rid of those headache clients. The ones that got these super detailed descriptions but then they tell you, you just do you, fam. Now they can type that in and you can focus on the clients that are like, I respect that. I understand the value of it, but I want you because your creativity and zooming out. And I want to get your POV on this. It blows my mind how many creative human beings are terrified of this thing. And if you want to talk about job replacement, creativity, the skill of creativity is the last thing that's going to get replaced. If you look, the first things that got replaced were like folks who are working at McDonald's that are doing a systematic job.
As they should. Like, come on.
Right?
Y'all know they miserable. Like they making $2 to do that. Like they're being more efficient. It's a business mindset. So it's like if they have 50 employees is there a system where people can order?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is there a million people waiting in line? Yes. Can you order on your app? I can. Get out the line.
Look, speeding up our life so we can get back to the things that we really want to do and even evolve things that 20 years ago wasn't even in the picture. Like, I just can't imagine fighting this because it's like now you're going to give me time to evolve in areas that nobody else before had the opportunity because they were so overwhelmed by all the different things that they needed to do to be quote unquote efficient in that time.
Right.
Interesting stuff.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be a millennial.
Come on,
and
now.
have access to these things that our parents did not have. And I take full advantage and I'm fully grateful for it because I'm not going to just take it for granted because we really have a lot of access to multiple sources of income. I mean, people can literally go get people's groceries and get paid to do, and that can be a part-time job. That didn't exist because of technology. Like, and our parents didn't have that. They could only apply to the job that's down the street.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of really cool ways to earn a living, to do different things versus just, working at the bank or something like that. You could do other things, you know?
It's that time. So I'm curious. We're talking about the topic of Gen Z, and obviously we know the impact that AI is having. We also know the impact of social media. How you feeling about all these damn changes going on right now with social media specifically?
It's scary, but it's also like,
it
is what it is. Like, I feel like, first of all, you're like a psychic prophet or something, because I feel like right now all the social media platforms are dying. Like as we speak, I just feel like we all know TikTok is going through a ban.
Yeah, I think it's
And then
inevitable.
also, yeah, but other than that, like TikTok is just so weird because when you first get started, they'll feed you, and then when you get to a certain point, they're like, we don't want your viewers to see your content, so you have to pay.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
Instagram does the same thing too. So Instagram now no longer pays influencers for their content. I just got my last check. Appreciate it. I'll probably never get another one again.
Yeah, how
So
you gonna
after
take
that,
away? That's what I'm gonna say. Specifically, how you gonna take away the one of the advantages that someone would have of being on Reels? Like, yes, people are very excited about being discovered by your algorithm that puts you in front of new people because you use Reels. Got it. But something I noticed, and I don't know if you watch Sean Cannell's channel, he has great YouTube information and social media information. He talks about how shorts and
I actually talk to him tomorrow.
you talk to him tomorrow. Stop it. So,
Yeah.
so I was gonna basically say I'll wrap this up in that he talks about how it's such a terrible channel to sell things through because we obviously have products, we're producers, we want to sell either beats or we want to sell, courses, packs, whatever we're doing. But it's such a terrible channel because a person can sit down in 30 minutes and consume 100 pieces of content and forget
Yeah.
yours even existed if they don't act on it right
Absolutely.
then and there.
Absolutely. And no one's doing it. They're scrolling disrespectfully, just
Right past your little cute copy. They just like, yeah, that's what's up.
Right.
I need to get to this content. And for them to take away that income source is inevitably gonna push people elsewhere, right?
We gone.
Yeah. So I
I
wish.
posted something today and nobody saw it. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, what is wrong with this thing? Like, I don't understand. Like, literally, I'm just like looking at it. I'm like, is it stuck? Like,
Yeah.
you know? And then I saw that they're not offering the bonus anymore. I was like, oh, maybe because I'm not getting offered and they're not going to push it anymore. I'm like, okay, no, say less.
And I want to talk about that next, but you know what I really saw that kind of had me a little suspicious? Shut up, Carter to be. Ain't this suspicious? Is the fact that when they offered that first bonus, it was doable. Then they were like, all right, since you already did that, give us some Kylie Jenner numbers.
It was crazy. Like 14 million impressions. I'm like,
you got all my analytics. When in the history of my Instagram have you ever seen me do 40% of that?
you can get 1,500 if you reach 100 million thousand bazillion views.
Hell no. And then meanwhile, I call it the juggernaut, but meanwhile, the evergreen juggernaut of YouTube, which is why I said, you know what, I need to leave here because I feel like if you know what YouTube is? YouTube is that conversation that some of us used to have with our mom in the back seat. Mama, can we get McDonald's? We got bread and we got meat at home. We got McDonald's at home.
We got McDonald's at home. Yeah.
That's what YouTube is. YouTube says, all right, you like to share your thoughts like Twitter? All right, we'll use the community post. You like to use vertical videos? We got shorts. You like to put in live streams? We got live stream. You can even go live with somebody else via your phone. And the fact that they have the one thing that no other social network has, they have an archive that reaches 13, 14 something years that's evergreen, and they still suggest it to people today.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. People be watching my old stuff like, I did not expect that old video to still be popping in 5 years. Just imagine, I'm like, this is old. Y'all are watching this? Like, all right.
You ever had somebody try to start an argument about something you said 6 years ago?
Yeah. I'm like, bro, I don't even like that no more. I don't even live there no more. I don't even like check my new stuff. Have you even looked at my new stuff?
Looked at my new stuff. What are you doing? You having an argument with the 6 years ago me?
Right. Yeah.
I've done some amazing things since then, but not
right.
So your YouTube, I mean, I never felt like you actually left. I felt like your imprint, regardless of what your scheduling of posting was, your imprint was always felt because aesthetically, as soon as I see a video of yours pop up, you're taking chances that I think a lot of content creators producers that do content creation, they don't necessarily see themselves as content creator first, and then they're giving the music production. And I feel like that's a very personal pivot that we have to make at some point. Where does that come for you? Because I look at your stuff and I'm like, if you didn't make music, you still would have very like easy on the eyes aesthetics and interesting edits that would make like I would still want to watch. But being that we're into production, like it just makes it like it's the icing on the cake. But what is that for you that really drives you to keep pushing the envelope, the 360 cameras and all this other stuff?
Just having fun. I think I have like visions, and I like the cool gear. Like it's just like AI. I like technology. If I you know, can't just settle for one camera. Like I need an iPhone for this angle. I need this Sony thing, but the other thing, the Sony too heavy. So I got the other thing for this thing, and I got this one don't do 360. 360 small though. I can take it with me.
Yeah.
So when I'm just random places, like, oh, they got vinyl here, so let me just stick this here and just press play. Oh, that'll be my intro to my stream.
Yeah.
I wasn't planning it, so it just happened. So I think it's important to like be aware, like even when you're out and about, like, okay, I'm about to go to some place. You never know who you're gonna see, what you're gonna see, and of course you have your phone. You can make content on your phone, but I like having that 360 camera and being like, oh, well, this is cool. I think this will be a cool shot, and stick it there and or walk around, or it's dope. So I think I'm multi-dimensional. So I enjoy music. I enjoy film content creation. I enjoy art. I think art was probably my first love, like before I even got to music. And like I was into theater, and like I wouldn't be surprised if I'd be in a movie in a couple of years, or like acting, because like I was into theater and acting in movies when I was a kid. And it's just like, like I said, the things change. Like, well, let me try that other thing that I really wanted to figure out.
Yeah.
Because I'm good at what I do. Like I can do anything, and I know that about myself. It's like if I focus on something, I'll be really good at it. So
that's important.
I've recognized that because I have so many things that I like, I have to focus on it. That's why, like when I did the album, I'm just on this one device, but I need to like, read up on manuals more and get mastered things. And so like I've told myself that I wouldn't really buy any new gear, but when you're an influencer,
good luck.
Things be just showing up, and I'll be like, dang, I just say I won't go buy nothing. Now I got to figure this out. And I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
But like I really want to master what I do have. I'm not really a person that wants or need anything. I have everything that I need or want, and I just want to be able to master it. So like there's like so much room to even with the machine, like even with my course that I have, I'm just like, there's things that I haven't understood with this.
Yeah.
And I don't know who to talk to, because I'm the one that knows the most, or I need to go talk to someone else that has been using it long. I'm not the only one, so just really kind of being honest with myself. It's like, well, what else have you done with this? Yeah. Or, even with cameras, there's like, I haven't, like before we even got on, you're talking about LUT and something. I'm just like, I don't know what he's talking about, but I need to get off on that shit.
Look, then at some point we'll have that conversation, because especially the dynamic of whenever I ask you something or you would ask me something, it's never I'm never gonna gatekeep no information. I'm never gonna make it a situation where you gotta run through no loops. Like it's important for me that when people ask me information, they feel like it's a safe place to ask, and then it's a reliable source, because I feel like that just has so many added benefits as time goes on. And you never know. Like I've seen people who were, not literally in the mailroom, but they were in the mailroom of a business, and then they get moved up to artist reach out, and all of a sudden they're the biggest sponsor that I have that month, and it's with a company I've been wanting to work with. But you just never know where those blessings are going to come from. And that's not the only reason you want to treat people well, but it is another reason to where it's like, yo, you never know. You never know who someone will become, especially in the department of the things that you respect or the things that you need. So I'm curious, and obviously you disclose how much you feel comfortable with, but you shocked me when we were having conversations about how you would ask other people certain information, and it was kind of like almost like a wild goose chase. And I'm like, first of all, it's so much information out here anyways.
Yeah.
And second of all, if I find a way, this makes the entire, in my opinion, it makes the entire industry that much better if the information is out there, because somebody gonna do something with it I never would have even thought of.
Yeah, so I believe that nothing is really ours. Like even our music, like our music came from something else, and we're just a vessel to express that music. And with like, you know, like if I'm using an app on my phone and I'm making videos with it, and then someone asks me, "Hey, what app are you using?" I'm just like, you gonna have to figure it out yourself.
Yeah.
It's really like, well, why don't you share it? Because you didn't make it.
Right.
And if anything, you would be supporting that business, and you also be supporting me as a new producer.
Right.
And but it's not yours. It's not. It's everybody's. It's everyone's to know. Like these products and these techniques are for everybody. You know, like I love how Andrew Hong makes the four producers one sample, because he's basically showing that nobody will make the same thing at all. Like you can give people the same sound pack and no one's gonna make the same beats. You know, you could give everybody the same sound packs and go, and hey, on Discord, drop me all your beats from this sound pack. Everyone's beat is completely different. And there's no reason to like to believe that like this ego of like you're better than me, or you're gonna make something better. Or because I understand, like I think we shared this you shared about like the older generation. Like for an example, you guys, like I would watch old video clips of producers going to vinyl conventions in New York City, where it was like a huge deal, like, you know, these exclusive like a hotel lobby full of exclusive vinyl. And music producers would like pay the host to get in early and grab the secret stash of vinyl, and didn't want to tell anybody what vinyl they got. Or they make a beat and then wouldn't share what sample it is, even though today our generation is different. We have the internet, we have YouTube, we share things. So it's like a combination of the old school hip hop with the new school clashing.
Yeah.
We can go to Who sample right now and we can figure out that sample. Why are you upset like that that you don't want us to know that you sampled, you know, impeach the president? Like we know it.
Right.
Like, you know,
Your secret is no longer a secret no more, fam.
Yeah, and it's we you know, speaking of like AI, we have technology that's coming out that can detect samples now. So it's just like, you better go ahead and stop. You know,
let me go.
Yeah,
I need to go back. I need to get an old login for a Bandcamp. You know, you know. So I'm
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
but
I mean,
yeah.
It's and it's crazy because I shared a video that I saw on Tall Black Guy's Instagram, and it was a gentleman that was speaking to how in his generation, even so much the things that we do live stream, because I want to talk about your live stream as well, the things that we do with live streaming in terms of showing the process, showing it even when we don't know what direction we're going to next, is such a new concept for, I think, a lot of folks who are older than both of us. And this guy was talking about how like practice is done in private. And where he comes from, you know, you don't showcase that in front of people, like as you're figuring it out, and you don't really call that a job. And it got me thinking, because I was like, I have friends who represent that school of thinking, but I also recognize I'm literally one of the folks on live stream that's like, yo, I don't know what I'm doing today. I don't know what I'm doing with this sample, but I want to have fun, and I want to show y'all, like, dog, I get frustrated too.
Right.
So, but what is your viewpoint on kind of that mentality? Because, you know, for some people, when they get to live streaming, that's not the easiest thing.
It's not easy. I had when I first started like this year in January, I decided to do Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, and I just noticed that because I was on camera, I had to talk, and that's a distraction for me. So like I had to tell myself like I like this. I like sharing my process. But I have to give myself a balance of making music in private and also sharing my process. So it's like I get what he was saying, like music, it's I necessarily should be done in private, but I get the difference because
Right.
I do see a difference when I practice by myself because I'm not on. Like if I'm practicing with this camera on, I'm sitting here the whole time. Whereas if I'm producing, I may go walk over here, I may go, mess around with this keyboard or go get a snack and
Right. It's a different process altogether. Yeah.
just go outside for a few minutes and be like, I think I'm done right now. Like and then
with no intent of it having to be content. It's just I'm going outside.
Right. Yeah. Like because like but I've been more intentional with like showing up, intentional with everything I do. So like I said, like if I'm gonna, because I found myself going on streams like, what am I doing today? Like I don't know. And like now I have more intentional where I go stream every Friday, like at 2:00 on YouTube. And because it's on Friday, I get to listen to the new music that I've released because I'm releasing music like every single week. And like it's like a listening party for the first couple of minutes, and then we could talk about whatever is happening this week, or and then I'm making beat tape music and that's why it's called microwave beats. I'm making like really quick like beats, and I'm finishing the process later on.
Okay.
Because the we be listening to the same loop like over and over and over and over and over again, as producers, just to get the right mixing down. And I'm just like, I'm not doing that in front of y'all for the next 3 hours. I'll make like the first skeletons of the beat, and I'm gonna make another one, and then I may finish it later. Were you scratching your head? Is that what you do?
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know who is staying here to watch something like that. That's wild. Working on one beat for 3 hours. Who y'all think y'all are? And it's terrible with me because I'm a space bar person. Like I'm and when I watch back and I'm editing, I'm like, this is a bit much. But I can't help what my creative process is. But I don't know how Curtis does that for 3 hours. Because you know what it is for me, and I hope that I'm on the right side of history with this one. I know that it would make for a much more interesting live streaming. We used to do like 3 or 4 beats in that time period before, but I got to a place where it was like, when I work like that, I do that only for the cameras.
Right, and I feel you on that, yeah.
But when I work by myself, I will spend an hour with a snare trying to figure out, you know what I'm saying? Like trying to like see why doesn't it feel right. But what's dope is that I found a way, because I used to be insecure about showing this much of the process, but I found a way for me to, if I don't work on music on live stream, I don't get a chance to work on music because of everything else that goes into it. But I get where you're coming from too, and it might be something to consider because I do be falling in love. I'll be in here.
Well, simping. No, I like that. I love it. You be in the zone. I love that, and I feel like for me, I think I would have to make it maybe something where I'm not having this camera on and I'm just using the back camera, and then you can see my screen. But I don't need to be talking to y'all because I think I'm feeling the need to have to respond to everyone's message. And I'm not doing that when I'm making
no.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
that's not
damn,
flow
I got an
state.
audience.
That
they
ain't
ask
flow.
me questions. They like, oh, what is that BST? Well, it is. And I'll get real passionate about it.
Yeah.
And then go off topic. And then I'm like, God damn, I'm gonna finish this beat real quick. But see, I love it. I love the connection I have. And I want to be able to connect with the people in the audience. But there are people that don't even say anything to the chat and they're just right. And I'm just like, I want to get there. But I'm also like aware of the chat.
Why you gotta call me out like that? Like I'm gonna need you to like not like say the inside voice is so loud, like I can hear you.
I'm not talking about
I know you're not. I'm just over here feeling insecure.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Because I'll be this chat at all. There's people that's just literally like they just show up, hit record, and then they just.
Yeah. No, I see that. You know what I think that is? I have to try to understand where we might be in the producer evolution of things. You and I could just jump on here after not really like we'll have conversations here and there, but you and I could just talk about whatever, I feel like, because we're just naturally folks that can have that flow of conversation. But I recognize that you know how many damn YouTube live streams I've seen where a producer, it is like 2%. It's like the thing on your phone when you turn up the brightness. It's at 2% on their camera, and they sitting here like this with a hoodie over, and they're like,
yeah.
All right, so that's beat one.
Yeah, that's and I'm like, I want to get there. That's that's so confident. I'm just like, that's so confident. Y'all just showing up and really not giving a fuck. I really like that. Like,
is that confidence though? You think that's confidence, or you think that's I don't want to say nothing to embarrass myself?
No, that's confidence. They really just be like, I'm like you said, I don't care. Boom, y'all go. We gonna get some type of watch time on this channel this week.
They just be like this the whole time. They be like,
right.
Like you barely see. Like I don't even know why you got your camera on.
Right.
But I feel like we're at that part where producers are like, all right, I keep being told I gotta show my face. I guess I will.
I'm inspired by you because what you share with me is that you look at this stream not as just like because the thing with Twitch is more like laid back, and I see that, but I like how you've made it. And YouTube is like our own television show. And I've explained this to my friend that just started YouTube. I said, it's not social media at all. It's like, it's just imagine if someone gave you a fund to start your own channel on cable. Like you have channel 33 right now. Yes. And like, it's not just one show. You could have multiple shows with different subjects because she was thinking about doing like a niche channel. I'm just like, you could do that, or you could be the niche, and then you could have different topics on your channel so you could use all of your content, not just focus on one thing. Because if you focus on just that one niche, it's gonna be hard for some people, depending on their niche. And but it's like Oprah. It's like Oprah. If Oprah has a network, she ain't got just a Tyler Perry show on there. She got Tyler Perry, Ilana Fix My Life. She got the Sunday Show. She got
I forgot she got Ayana. That's on her own network, right? Yeah.
Right. And it's just like, it's not just the Oprah show all day. I would love it to be the Oprah show all day, but but she gave some light to other people or other subjects or other things. And that's how YouTube is. It's like that's how I see what you're doing. Like every day you have a different subject. You're coming with intentional. It's not like Curtis King live today at, for 3 hours. I don't know what we're doing today. And you know what you're doing today. At least have a topic and a top line to at least start with. And some people, they're just making beats all day. But today's gonna be about playing y'all music. Today's about question and answer. This one's about video games.
But so to be honest with you though, and I know this. I'm well aware of this. My live streams would perform so much better if I did just do one thing. Because YouTube pays people who do the same thing over and over again consistently. Really? Right? I feel you. You know what I'm saying? But my soul can't, like, I would not be in the right place if I'm like, yo, today I want to talk to Sarah for an hour and a half. Like, I just want to talk and just have it. And I want to have that as content. But, and something else I realized in talking to my Patreon audience, I'm such a 90s kid. I'm such a like I love my Martin. I love my In Living Colors. I love, the Fresh Prince. What I'm recognizing is that when you look at the brightness of the thumbnails, when you look at like the playfulness of like these candid moments, I've literally created my own like grown-up Nickelodeon. And that it's a variety. You get your Kenan and Kel here. You get your all that. I'm created that, but in the lane of music production. And the more I think about that, the more I recognize that it was written in the name of my channel. Curtis King TV is what it was from the day one. So now I get to create my own nostalgic TV channel. And then the question becomes this. Like you said earlier, if I give you a TV channel, endless budget, what would you make? And I'm giving you like hints of it. I just happen to be the host of every one of those, but I just love that so much because that just wasn't a reality dating back to the MySpace days. Like there just wasn't a thing like that.
Yeah, I think it's important for you to be the niche because you have so many different things about you. Like I learned about your family. I learned about that when you were a vegan and you were doing vegan content. I was like, oh, I'm gonna make vegan content too. I'm about to show people this restaurant I love. and I did, and I'm not afraid of showing that version of me because it's
Good.
Sarah Too Ill. It's not Sarah Beats. It's Sarah, whatever Sarah
Mm.
enjoys, and that's why I don't like stick myself in one box. Like where if
Yeah.
I want to make a tech video and has nothing to do with music, but it is music related because this music needs to be part of the video, whether it's the music in the background that I'm creating, um, or just like using tech with music, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm not gonna just stick my head in just one thing. And I think it's important to recognize that YouTube is like it's such a great thing for us. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm so happy that we have that and it's growing. They just started to implement the podcast. They have a podcast thing in your
Tab. Yeah.
channel
The
now.
new tab.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you're pushing podcasts and this is a podcast.
This is
So
a
you have,
podcast.
you could obviously put it on a podcast platform, but like they're really pushing like video podcasts. And I watch most of my podcasts on YouTube anyway.
And
So
did you see Spotify bought Anchor?
oh wow. No, I had
I
no
logged
idea.
I logged into Anchor and it was like, "Hi, welcome to Spotify.
Right.
Enjoy."
Right.
So when you see that,
Interesting.
and they always, I think they always had that relationship because whenever you upload a podcast, they give you the option of uploading a video, but this specifically exclusively for Spotify. So now what I can do instead of having to take the audio from these video podcasts, mix it and compress it and do all the things I do, I can now take the same YouTube video. It's not asking for 4K, and take it, upload it after downloading it from YouTube, and it automatically goes to all the distributors for podcasts as an audio format. So then that got me thinking. I
Nice.
was like, why am I doing the Curtis King podcast when it really isn't just about me? Like it's really about these amazing human beings that I have the opportunity to talk to. So I was like, Music
Right.
and Life podcast, and now it gives me so much more freedom because I used to do like intros, like "Welcome to the Curtis King Pod," just trying to be like everybody else. But now it's like
Right.
we're literally living in a time where we don't have to like, it doesn't have to be so suit and tie. We could just have, this is my network. This is literally my network, and I'm watching you build yours out, and I'm just like, I'm excited the same way I get excited about TV. Like I just know when you get your own show, it's finna be crazy because I see your videos. So now that you're here, no surprises. I'm watching these live streams. I'm like, it's about to go up. It's about to go up for Sarah.
You're a huge inspiration. I be watching your stuff like, oh, he got the angles, he got the fog. I was so surprised when you like, yeah, it's a real fog machine. I was like, this
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he the one.
Look.
Ain't no effect. He ain't got no little graphic. He got a real fog machine, y'all.
And I'll be in here really choking.
Dedicated.
I'll be in here really
Yeah.
choking with that. But it's crazy because you know why those ideas come to me, and I want to talk to you about this because I think this is something that you've been really great at. Self-care. Giving myself space in December to really just not be on any of this and like unplug. I mean, really unplug. Not be like, I'm not a viewer. I'm none of that. I'm just off of it. It gives my mind time to be like, all right, what is the one thing that can change everything? And how have we been doing it wrong the last year? And it dawned on me. I was like, you know what? This could be so much better of an offering if people knew that my favorite TV show came on at these particular days. And last thing I'll say is this is in doing that self-care, it gives me what I need to come back here and stay flexible, stay creative. But I look at your channel, and that's something that you don't shy away from. The topic of mental health, and also the topic of, you know what? I need to get out the studio, and I'm going to go down here to this boutique close to where I live at. A friend of mine works here. Like, you've always been very open about that. How important is self-care for you so that you're able to do all the amazing things that you do?
Well, it's super important. It's basically everything. I think it's important. Your mindset is everything. The way you think is everything. What you tell yourself is everything. And we are always constantly in a conversation with ourselves, and we do have control over taking that energy and turning it to something positive, but it takes a lot of focus. Some people allow their thoughts to kind of just take over them, and then that affects their day and how they treat others, how they treat themselves. um it's everything. So for me, like, I have a routine, and a morning routine and a night routine. It's just important to do, you know, waking up early enough to start meditation and doing affirmations, because you want to be able to tell yourself who you are before someone else tells you who you are,
Hello.
whether that's something positive or negative. So like if someone tells you, hey, I love, you're the best music producer in the world, and then it's like, well, I know that because I told myself that this morning.
We had a little talk this morning. I'm good.
Yeah. Or if someone says, hey, your beats are trash, and you're like, no,
Yeah.
I told myself today that I was the best music producer in the world.
We don't accept
that. Yeah, it's just either way. It's like internally, I already know who I am before someone gives me a compliment or tries to tear me down. It's important as a content creator. You're going to get a lot of haters. The more you grow, the more people hate. And it's just like, well, you better be able to handle that, because people they'll poke at you, and like, but people will give you high praise, but also that can go to your head, and you don't want to get, you don't want to get, you know, too big headed on certain topics. You want to stay right in the grateful energy. So like meditation, affirmations, I always move around or stretch, and then when I'm moving around and stretching, I always try to find a way to learn something new, whether that's listening to a podcast or Audible, or watching a YouTube video that's educational while I'm stretching and working out. And then I journal all my thoughts. And I think it's important to write what you're grateful for, and get everything that's out your head. Like if you're going through a hard time and something bothered you the day before, the night before, someone, just write it out. And then at the bottom, you tell yourself what you intend to do for that day. Because if you had a bad day the day before, it's like, I intend to be kind to myself today. I intend to be creative today because I didn't do anything yesterday. Or or I intend to just be present, or grateful, or just you have to set the tone for your day, or someone else will.
And especially if you're on social media, they gonna really set the tone in about 4 or 5 posts, because they love showing posts of somebody saying today's already a shitty day, and it's I don't need that right now. I ain't even meditated yet. Speaking of meditation, though, is there a specific one that you do? Because I know I started getting into box breathing, and I was amazed how much that one helped, and then also the tapping.
Right.
When I first saw that, I was like, okay, who over here with somebody got a scam? Then I did it, set the intent, and I was like, yo, I feel so much better.
Right. Mine's is pretty basic. It's like I have this thing called a hatch machine. It's it's an alarm clock, but it has different settings where like you can hit it, and it could be a lady, and she'll say, hey, welcome to your gratitude session. We're gonna talk about all the things that you've done to make sure.
I told y'all. Didn't I tell y'all? Who said it earlier? Amazon Max Pro. You got a different Amazon. When the hell you get a clock that talks you in? What year do you live in?
Shout outs to
Let me find out.
Hanuman. This is an amazing human being named Hanuman that knows everything. He's like an encyclopedia. He said it one day on the radio. I was working at the radio once, and he just like, yeah, me and my wife go to sleep to pink noise with this hatch machine. I was like,
say less.
Say less. Because I was just like, I'm trying to get on his level. I don't know what the hell he on, but I'm trying to get on his knowledge. I'm listening to you, sir. Yeah. But the hatch machine, you could set it up, and it could be like a gratitude 5-minute thing, a body scan. It could be, a kindness thing. And then at nighttime, you could play like, water noises, ocean noises. I'm in the forest, I'm in a river, and I have PTSD. So like I ruminate. And if I wake up in the middle of the night and I allow my thoughts to take over, it's a wrap. Like I'm having a bad dream, I'm waking up upset. But when I wake up in the middle of the night and I hear like river noises, I'm like, oh, I'm a stone.
Yeah.
And I go right back to sleep. And I'm like, I literally imagine just water, just I'm a little gray soft stone in the river, and and I go back to sleep, and I wake up so refreshed. But like when I wake up, I hit that machine again to restart the whole cycle, and the lady starts with gratitude, and And what my meditation is just my meditation is different things. So like when I wake up, I have to get my mind right. So as soon as I hit that thing, I'm saying, hey, tell me 10 things you're grateful for. I'm grateful for I'm alive, my back doesn't hurt. I'm, my dog's here. I got a roof over my head, I got, food in the fridge, whatever you can think of, just because
Right.
the feeling of gratitude is the highest vibration. And like I used to wake up thinking about like bills and like who said something or da,
Hello.
da, 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 and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I want to change that vibration. I've noticed that I've been able to, even before I wake up and hit the alarm, my brain is like, I'm grateful that I
Yeah.
get to do this today, or I'm grateful that, it's just like a different, I've programmed my brain to be more kind to myself. And it is about programming. It's like you're a computer, we are like human computers. So like me
Yes.
laying in bed for 10 minutes for the first 10 minutes and meditating, which is like me laying down, me thinking of 10 things I'm grateful for, and then literally just like laying there and imagining a bright light with my eyes closed and just like, and then I get like this boost of energy, like, oh shit, like I got a lot of cool stuff to
I
do
love
today,
that. Yeah.
and then I get with the affirmations. I have a phone full of affirmations that I highlight, and my phone speaks it for me while I'm like brushing my teeth and getting ready and making the bed and stuff like that. So it's like
Nah, you in year
I'm habit stacking.
you're in year 3000. I get it now. I get it. You're the technology's so advanced that you can make it look like you in 2023. That's what AI you own, Sarah. Now it's finally starting to make sense. The
Oh
blue
yeah.
sand inside of yo. You see, I'm impressed by very 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 simple things, right?
Right.
LEDs and blue sand to get it for me. But
Right. Right.
now, what's the name of that device one more time? I know a lot of folks in here are interested in that.
What this?
No,
Oh,
not that. The hatch. Yeah,
the
yeah.
hatch.
That
It's called a hatch machine, a
hatch
hatch alarm
machine.
clock. The thing is it's a good investment. So I'm letting you know it's not cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do have to get a yearly subscription, but it's worth it. It's a one-time payment and it's worth
Mm,
it because like I wouldn't, when it's not on,
you know.
oh, oh,
Yeah, yeah,
fireworks, gunshots, fucking.
yeah.
I'm just like, I hear too much. It's too silent in this mother. It's whew,
Mm-hmm.
turn, put something on, put some water on,
Mm-hmm.
turn the faucet on. Like,
You know what's become that for me? And I made this purchase after, like, I had a lot of folks know on this channel, but I had a period of time where I had like left side numbness that would like go crazy out of nowhere, and it would
yes,
just be
I
like
feel you.
super intense. And I went to all these different doctors, and every one of them concluded it was stress that was doing that to me.
Mm,
And so I said, you know what? The shout out Lee, who's the coder for Beat Timer. He was using the Oculus joint, the VR headset, and he was like,
right.
I use a meditation app on there called Trip. I was like, all right,
Nice.
cool. I said, you know what? I'm at a place now where if stress is on me like this, I just need a different experience for meditation for me and where I'm at in my attention span. I got that app, and I got to the point where I was meditating up to 2 to 3 times a day. And something
Nice.
I notice in this is that between journaling, like you were talking about, between the meditation, how little we give ourselves credit or how little we give ourselves grace, but
Right.
we give it to other people, or we'll
Yes.
give them, all kind of room to be forgiven. But for ourselves, we can be so harsh on ourselves. So I appreciate you sharing that, because that's something that I think a lot of folks would get benefit from. Because even if you can't afford that particular device, find you something, because when you even just a piece of paper, like you said, just journaling,
Yeah.
sometimes you'll disclose something to yourself and you'll be like, I'm winning a whole lot more than I internally feel.
I'm not even like writing words. I'm just scribbling. And
Really.
it's literally me getting the thought out of my brain
Mm-hmm.
and letting it go and surrendering to it. Like, okay, I'm gonna talk about it this once. And now I'm about to set my attention for the day so I can stay present on this. And I make a to-do list right after that.
That
This
part.
is my intent. This is my attention. This is what gets my focus today. And it's me. It's like, do the power hour thing. Go take Lucy on a walk. Go out to see nature. Go practice the piano, drink some tea,
Mm-hmm.
take a shower, then go to work. Where some people just wake up, drink some coffee and go straight to work. And I'm just like, did you go outside today? Like, did you? And I think that's like the one
Yeah.
flex or the best thing about having a dog is that I have to go
He forced
outside.
you to go outside.
Yeah. And I love it. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
but days like the rainy days in LA, I'm like, God, but you know,
Yeah.
but
But you're still
it's like
outside.
when it's nice outside, it's like I'm so grateful that we got a routine that we go out, around this time
And we on the
you
West
know,
Coast. Like
yeah,
when I see my friends that are snowed in, I'm like, oh God bless you, because
nah,
we don't have them kind of issues. Like I don't know about you, but I'll be complaining when it get 68 in the house. I'm like,
yeah,
this is frigid. What are we doing?
yeah,
We're living like
yeah.
cavemen.
It's March 22nd. I'm like, what's going on? Just a little behind. I paid my taxes on time, so where's the
You
weather
feel
at?
me? Like
Yeah,
like Edison, get it together. Well,
right.
I don't want to take too much of your time, but I appreciate you so much, because I know in having a conversation with you, it's gonna always be talks about things that are outside the norm, but are so crucial, no matter where producers are at in their in their lives and in their journey. But for those who are looking to be more intentional, what are some, I guess, some really easily accessible tips that you have for them to get started into, focusing more on them? They love their art,
Wake up
but
early.
wake up early. That's number one. Okay.
Wake up early, even if it's just 10 extra minutes, 15 extra minutes, 30 to like make time for yourself. I know
Okay.
people have kids, I know people have pets, they have other responsibilities, but you need to make sure you have set boundaries, not only with people but with yourself. Don't look at the phone until you've meditated and journal. Like,
Do you sleep
you
next to your
know,
phone, by the way? Just give us a
no, that's the
random
thing.
question.
That's the thing. So like with the hash machine, I don't like sleep. Look, so okay, let me take a step back. The
Break it up. Break it
phone
down. Break it down.
has negative energy. It has it's always trying to connect to different Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. So it has frequencies that we're always next to it. This isn't a healthy device to be around. Like we
Mm,
can't see what it's connecting to, and we are also electric
that
beings,
part.
and we're affected by these devices. They actually affect our health. So I have my phone. So basically at 6 o'clock, I'll hit the hatch. I'll meditate for at least 10, 20 minutes, lay in my bed, relax, get my mind right. And then my phone, that alarm will go off on the other room 20 minutes later to make sure I am actually up. Because once you physically get out your bed, it's a wrap. Because some
Mm,
people will hit that snooze button, but if that snooze button on the other side of the room,
you gonna have to get your ass up.
you you know what? I feel good. I think I'm good. I
Yeah.
don't think I want to go lay back in bed. And make up the bed as
Yeah.
soon as you get out of bed, because if you make the bed, you're not gonna get back in the bed.
I even saw something, I think, from Mel Robbins, where she was talking about there were studies that said the speed in which you get up can have a tremendous effect on the speed of the rest of your day. So
Mm-hmm.
I know some people get a little light.
Absolutely.
I know I get lightheaded, so I sleep heavy. Like I
Right.
got a CPAP machine, all that stuff. I sleep heavy, and I snore even heavier. But when I gather my thoughts, get straight up,
Right.
that kind of puts a jolt of energy, or
Yeah, it
activates,
does.
I should say, a jolt of energy within you to really get after it. You got some time to get to some of these questions. They got a few questions for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
first of all, I just wanted to say, like, wake up early.
Hmm.
I would look up the power hour. The power hour is basically when you meditate, do affirmations, you work out, you learn something new, you journal, all in 1 hour. And that's what you should be doing every day before go on your phone, before you engage with your partner, before you answer phone calls or check an email.
Hmm.
That's it's a sets the tone for your day, just like what you said. And have a night routine, because the night before sets the tone for the next day.
So true.
And you should be able to take time to take a shower, do a facial routine, fellas. Like, literally, we're looking at your
Hmm.
skin, we're looking at your teeth. Take care of yourself, because when we look at you, it's a reflection of how you feel about yourself.
Hmm.
It's okay to go to the barber shop. It's okay to take a shower every day. It's okay to
Hmm.
wash your face and find a facial routine. It's okay to go get your nails done. It's okay to you know um because it's a it'll come back to you,
Right.
and it's not like a superficial thing like, oh, I you know I gotta look good on, like, the way the looking good feel, it makes you feel good. So take the time
Facts.
before, okay, 9:30, I need to go ahead and take the next hour to do my facial routine. I put my dog up. She can't be around me because she'd be crazy and stuff. So I
Mm-hmm.
had set boundaries with my dog, with, no more social media, no more TV. All right, the show about to end. That's it. Like, all right, I'm about to have a night routine. I'm gonna make a to-do list. So, because a lot of things, we don't know what we're doing that day, and we need to
Mm-hmm.
know the day before. So as soon as you wake up, you're like, oh, I got this. I'm gonna be making beats today.
Yeah.
Versus like, oh, I think I should make a beat, and I probably will never get to it.
Gotta set that in, gotta set that
So yeah,
intention. All right, we got a
and
few
then
questions for you though. That's such an awesome guide for somebody that's getting started with that, because it's all doable. Mont Dog asked the question: what are Sarah's thoughts or recommendations on herbal teas?
so every day I drink something called golden milk, and golden milk is so amazing. Basically, I boil pieces of ginger and make ginger tea, and then I have this thing called a turmeric latte, which is a mix of this really
Mm.
high potent turmeric that has ashwagandha and dates in it. And then there's this other thing called shilajit, and this is this mineral from India, and I get this from a guy at the farmers market who's Indian, who he gets all his stuff straight from India, and it's
Wow.
like the purest form of like shilajit, because this is basically like this black tar substance that has like 99 like different minerals in it. It's kind of like sea moss, but
I'm about to
like
say Seymour,
but
same, yeah,
but it's
113, I think.
but it's not sea, yeah, it's not sea
Right.
moss, but it's a different alternative. And I put that in my tea, and I put oat milk and have a little golden milk, and that's my way of kind of just like, it gives ashwagandha gives me makes me it calms me down. It's very calming.
Mm-hmm.
The ginger and the turmeric is good for inflammation. The shilajit is really good for my iron and for like my, just making sure I have, you know, my blood flowing.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's days where like for women like me, like because we have cycles and they hurt,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's important to recognize what women have to go through. And I there's herbs like red raspberry leaf tea that's really good
Okay.
for my stomach, and some other like red leaf type of teas that I drink. But like I can't really drink a lot of things with caffeine, but I know a lot of people love green tea. Like they love the other types of teas, and um, but I can't drink it because I get sick.
You
So
get
I just
sick.
stick with
Okay. Yeah.
I get yeah, I get like caffeine makes my stomach hurt. So anything like, I love like matcha tea, like matcha lattes, but I can't drink it,
Mm-hmm.
even though it's like cracked for me. I'm like, give me a but
Yeah.
it's I'll be like
Yeah.
blue 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 blue.
So you get sick, I just start to twitching. Like my which to me
Same.
it's a reflection of something inner in your body that's rejecting, like, hey fam, this is
Exactly.
not
Yeah, I
normal.
don't like it. It's not.
Uh,
Yeah, so that's what I've been using. That's I don't have like a huge herb list, but that's what I use. So
okay, there it is. Tyra says, yo, so are we turning up online for this new release, Sarah?
yes, yes, yes. Make sure you guys pre-save. Go to my profile, hit the pre-save link so you can be the first one to listen. But we're gonna do a live listening party at 2 o'clock on Friday.
Nice. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. So I definitely got the stuff I found in the link tree. So I got the information in there.
Okay,
So you can look in
thank
the
you.
description, my friends, to check that out. What are the top 5 phone apps that help you with your success?
CapCut is definitely really dope. I
Talk
think I
about
use
it.
that every day.
Same here.
Yeah. Um, I don't use Canva too much, but it's a great resource for creating, I use Photoshop on my computer, but if I didn't have that, I'd probably use Canva.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know. The next thing that's on my mind is like the GoPro app is really dope because I can actually edit my GoPro footage right on my phone.
Oh
So
wow.
like all that fun stuff, and I'm about to post a video about that soon. But like all the fun angles I'm able to do like instantly, I'm able to record. I was doing the little car thing, and the car was mounted on the back, or the camera was mounted on the back
It
of the
looks so
car.
cool.
I
Yeah.
was able to control it on my phone, which is like, just imagine having to stop the car and me having to press the button.
Right.
Like, hey, stop real quick. Let
I
me go
hold that
press
thought. Hold that
record.
thought. Yeah.
So that's a really dope app, but like, it's a good question.
What
I'm
was that
always on
feature that you
social.
were talking about that reads out your affirmations to you while you kind of like?
Oh, that's just the notes section. That I'm always in the notes, like the
Mhm.
notes, literally the notes in your iPhone. Like you could go and highlight it as if you're gonna copy something, but the little bar, it gives you more options, and one of the options says speak. So you could highlight, anything in your notes, and it'll
Oh,
speak to
that's
you. So like
genius.
me as like a neurodivergent person, I love when I could hit I have it set up where I'm gonna read the contract, but Siri's gonna read it to me because
Hmm.
because I could sit there and look at words all day, but I'd be like, I need
Yeah.
someone to speak it to me. This
Yeah.
is gonna be more helpful for me. So like, you know, it's definitely helpful to speak affirmations, especially to yourself every day, all the time. But like you have to set the tone at least if you're like getting ready to, you can at least have your phone speak to you.
Yeah. That
Oh,
sounds audible.
Audible is
Yeah.
definitely something new that I have been using, even though it's been around for so long. I'm like so happy when I get a new credit. I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna choose? Books. I'm like a book nerd now. I'm like,
Analysis
books.
paralysis. There's too many choices, and I be
Right.
getting book suggestions because of the few people I follow, like the
Oh yeah.
entrepreneurs. I'm like, y'all gonna use up all my damn credits. I can't even get to these books. But the being able to read it on 2x, 3x speed at times when you're in certain
Yes.
places is very, very much a cheat code. Super
Yeah, I think
dope.
that's it. I don't know what else I could say with other apps, but yeah, those have helped me so far.
Okay, let's make this one the last one. So Just Juck says, sometimes I am so stressed it seems impossible to be productive. How do you catch yourself so you don't mess up the routine that you have?
I catch myself taking lots of deep breaths, and
Okay.
like if I'm frustrated, I really have to be aware of my frustration, and you really have to have resources. So I really recommend to go to therapy, because when I've gone to talk therapy, but I also did EMDR therapy, which means it's eye movement desensitization reprocessing therapy, which basically means the therapist is not really talking. She's basically moving her fingers and she's reprogramming your thoughts from traumatic experiences. But before we
Wow.
even started, she was like, I want to give you some tools. Like, she was just like, I want you to, like, if you're having like panic attacks or an episode, these are some things you can do. And one of them is like, name 5 colors in the room. I'm like, oh, red, green, brown, blue, white. Okay, now name 5 sounds: the air conditioning, the airplane, my dog,
Mm,
um, the water in the bathroom. What's that is doing is keep making you present, is
yes.
making you aware of your surroundings, is making you, or she'll say like, hey, like just imagine having a big bag. And she's like, okay, well, look, your problems are right here. I'm like, okay, I see them. Let's put that in the bag. Okay.
Hmm.
And then like you're gonna tighten that bag up. Okay. And I want you to imagine the closest water that's okay, there's water over here. Throw that shit in the in
That's
the
dope.
ocean. And then it was just like, and then wave at it.
Yeah, I
And
need to,
just
this week I could have used that one right there. I've heard the color one, I heard the sound one, but that idea, that's what walking for me was. Like walking in the
right,
mornings, I used to
right.
imagine like when I was walking, I would close my eyes, I'd be listening to like Lonnie Liston Smith and just this crazy playlist that I put together, and I just imagine that all those thoughts that come to me, I collect them, and then I literally splatter them in the street is what I
Right.
vision. I just
Right.
splatter them, and when I get back
Yeah.
home, don't none of that residue better be on my
Right.
sneakers,
Right.
is done. But that's such a
Exactly.
great visual to kind of work with. All right, well, the information is in here, but I want to end with this. I love ending with not just how people can find what you're doing, but I also want to I want to end with a gem that you heard recently that we don't need context, but it was something that you were like, you know what, damn it, your timing was perfect. But before that, I want you to obviously, talk about the pre-saving the project and places that people can reach out to you.
So you guys can reach me at Sarah 2 Ill on all the platforms at YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Um, my name is Sarah the Illstrumentalist. You can find me on all streaming platforms like, Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, Pandora, Bandcamp, all the places, SoundCloud. But the next album that I'm releasing is very important to me because it's something that I made a decision to stretch out my wings, my artistry wings, and I already know that I'm gonna make even better music. And I think a lot of people should understand that your music that you make now is great, but you're gonna evolve. But you should release what you're currently working on because um, it's very important to see your journey, and that's why this is my first music that I made from scratch. But I know that the next one and the next one and the next one is gonna
Mm-hmm.
be, and I'm not gonna wait until I'm perfect to release music. So this album is called Sarah's Keys, and um, it may not be the first one. It may be in a volume, whatever. About
Hello.
So I think the gem I would say I'm not necessarily sure if someone else, if you're asking me to say something that someone else has said, but I think for me, I would tell people to just listen to your intuition and tap into your inner child. Like if there's something that you enjoy, because a lot of things we're doing now, like music wise, isn't connected to what we were doing when we were children, at least for me. And I think it's important to be like, well, what is it that I really love? Because I make hip hop music, but I love pop music. I
Mm-hmm.
actually listen to this more. So like, I don't know how to make that. I want to. So challenge yourself to learn and master your craft. And don't be afraid to release what you currently have, and also know that what you're going to release later on is going to get better. And don't get attached to your music. Just let it go, because it's not yours. It's not yours. It's not. I don't know who told me or who gave me these ideas or chord progressions, but I can't give full credit. Like I really feel like it's like some people suffer. For an example, the person that said they're stressed,
Yeah.
I believe that people that are really that who's suffering are people that were gifted a gift and they're not using it.
Mm.
When you really make a commitment and realize that you were gifted something and you use that gift, you're going to get everything in exchange.
Yeah. I love that. I remember Jim Carrey says something along the lines of depression is your either your heart or your brain's way of saying I'm tired of faking. I'm tired of
Right.
bullshitting. Like this is what it takes for us to have a real dialogue about where we're at mentally, where we're at spiritually. Let's do something about it because I'm at my wit's end. So, and shout out to the person that asked that question because they also followed up. They said, "Yeah, he said, "Hell yeah, I'm chucking it. Very useful advice. I'm gonna try that color technique. Thank you." So you look at you helping folks in real time. The
That's what's up.
mechanics just said, "Wow, just walked in and heard exactly what I needed to hear," which is
That's
why
what's
I'm
up.
grateful that Sarah's here and sharing these gems. Look, I appreciate you so much. And last question was that listening party will be streamed on your YouTube, right?
Yes,
Okay.
youtube.com/Sarah2ill 2 p.m. Peace. Oh, wait.
Oh,
Hmm. My mom's coming into town, so that's why I just like, hold on.
that might change some things.
It's gonna be around. It's gonna be around two
Around,
o'clock.
it's
Around 2 o'clock. Around. I'm gonna schedule it. Y'all gonna see. Y'all hit the notification now. I got a special surprise that day that I'm getting. I have to pick it up before the stream.
okay.
It's very special. Very special. I'm very excited.
We looking forward to it. We looking forward to it.
Yes.
You know, you always got our support over here, and we just appreciate you and your art and just being as transparent as you are, because you help so many of us in ways that you probably never know about, but just know that your work is impactful, and we're grateful for you. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you having me on your platform, reaching out and being so generous with your time and your information. Like Curtis is, you guys is the best. He's definitely not a gatekeeper. He's been such a great help. And
I
I
appreciate
really
that.
appreciate that. And like I've been watching you for a long time. And I'm just so grateful that we're able to connect and have this relationship.
Just the
And
beginning.
also just congratulations for you like being so consistent, and I'm just so proud of you, and
I
like
appreciate that.
being able to you're such a great role model,
I
so thank you.
appreciate that. Like I show up. I was talking to my wife about this. I show up, I do my work, and don't ever expect any kind of any kind of congratulations for it. But hearing that is definitely something that means a lot. Sarah, we as folks out here like myself to look at you as a real life superwoman, a real life superhero out here, and you are doing the damn thing. And excited to know that you back here on this YouTube side, because it's trying to get the shmoney. You feel me? It's trying to get the
Listen,
shmoney, and let them play if they want to.
they it's crazy how you said it and now it's happening and it's really happening. I'm like, I think I'm gonna have to put a little, I'm about to leave this platform post or
Come
something. Like
on
y'all
now.
gonna have to come over here because they not on it. I don't know if you're gonna see this, but
You
I
either
ain't gonna
want
be
it or
on
you
here no
don't.
more.
You either
Yeah,
want.
exactly. Yeah.
Well, shout out to you once again, and hey, everybody that's in here, thank you. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out. For those of you that are listening on the platforms, thank you. I appreciate your viewership, your listening. If you get a chance, make sure you leave a review, especially if you found something positive in any of these conversations. I appreciate y'all so genuinely. Sarah, before you log off, I'm going to actually log off of here and then just say my goodbye. So thank y'all so much. I will be talking to y'all tomorrow as we have another episode of Flocation. All right. Stay tuned. I'm going to be sharing the information for Sarah's stream on Friday. So let's go. Let's make it happen. All right. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
Peace.
All right.